So if there's one thing that spells bad news for me whenever a new TV show or a new movie comes out is when the producers of the show or like the directors or whatever the case may be, whoever's making the show, when they start talking about certain terms like featuring a diverse cast or making a TV show for a modern audience, or whenever they say those things, that's like a dinner bell for all the woke idiots to come out and try to fake support this show when they know damn well they're not going to do it ultimately at the end of the day. It's a big red flag for me personally. And almost every single TV show or movie that has started off that way in terms of their marketing or has started off that way in terms of interviews regarding that TV show or movie, that TV show or movie ultimately ended up being terrible at the end of the day. I can give you plenty of examples, but one of the biggest one is probably Netflix's Resident Evil. I remember them specifically talking that way whenever they came out with that show, and it failed tremendously. Not only that, Willow was another one that people were talking like that. Rings of Power is another one that people were talking like that. So again, there's so many examples, but now we have another one. So apparently the X-Files reboot is going to feature a diverse cast reportedly in development from Black Panther series director Ryan Coogler. So for you fans out there who are fans of the X-Files, now that's not me personally. I dabbled every now and then in the X-Files, but I'll be honest with you guys, I wasn't a huge fan. It really wasn't my kind of thing, at least not back then. I probably, now that I'm older, I probably will like it more now, but back then I really wasn't a super fan like I know a lot of people were. I know a couple friends of mine who were super fans of the X-Files. So again, the X-Files is going to be the latest example of a woke reboot, as well as Grease. I know Grease I'm going to tackle because Grease, I know Grease like the back of my hand, so I'm okay with tackling that show. But the X-Files, I'm a little out of my league here. But it says, it seems the X-Files will be the next beloved and classic IP to be updated for modern audiences as more diverse reboot of the series is reportedly in the works from Black Panther series director Ryan Coogler. It says news of the reboot's existence was first revealed by the series' original creator Chris Carter during an appearance on the March 27th episode of the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation's Vancouver-centric news podcast On the Coast with Gloria Makarenko. Stopping by the show in commemoration of the 30th anniversary of the X-Files' first day shooting in Vancouver, where it would film up until its 5th season, at which time the series took a temporary move to Los Angeles before ultimately returning north for its 2 revival seasons. Carter was asked by Makarenko, how would you make it now in the current day? How would the X-Files be different, do you think? To which the creator asserted, oh gosh, you know, we're so steeped in conspiracies now. The X-Files deals with a central conspiracy, but now the world is so full of conspiracies that I think that it would be a different show. He added, oh gee, I can only wonder what this man is talking about. Seriously, I can only wonder where he could be hinting at when it comes to conspiracies. But I'm sure he's going to go a little more into it. Let's go. Let's see what it has to say. So it says, to that end, with his memory seemingly jogged by Makarenko's hypothetical questions, Carter then revealed, actually, I just spoke to a young man, Ryan Coogler, who is going to remount the X-Files with a diverse cast. So he's got his work cut out for him because we've covered so much territories, he concluded. As of writing, outside of the reboot's general existence and the Black Panther duology director's involvement therein, no further details regarding the X-Files' potential future have been made public. Further, it's unknown whether Coogler has any plans, depending on whether or not his vision is a full-on reboot or simply a soft one, to bring David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson, Scully, and Mulder back into the paranormal fold. However, as per Anderson, such an updated take on the X-Files is exactly the type of project which would entice her back to her iconic role. When asked by Variety in early of 2022 if she had any interest in returning to the franchise, Anderson admitted it just feels like such an old idea. And again, these people pretend as if diverse people did not exist like 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, diverse people have been around forever, and they try to pretend like they're the first ones to do these things. And I really feel like you're not impressing anybody. I know they think more of it than what it actually is, and they try to make this into this whole big thing about, oh yeah, we're going to showcase the X-Files again. And whether it's a reboot or a soft reboot, it doesn't matter. We're going to make sure it's diverse, because that's clearly all you guys are asking for. And it just doesn't make it very interesting. Like, I always feel like when they say these things, this is from a simplistic point of view. This is from a simplistic mindset. And whenever people think this simplistically, it doesn't give me much hope for the writing. I feel like the writing takes a big hit when people start thinking simple like skin color. Like skin color means nothing in the fucking X-Files show. Like what why do I care about the skin color of any character in the X-Files show? Like it doesn't mean anything to me. And I swear to God, they're going to start coming out and trying to say something along the lines of, "Oh, black people can start seeing themselves in the X-Files." Seriously? Like who cares about that? I just feel like this is coming from such a simplistic, very simplistic mindset that these people have, and it really is a sad thing to see because ultimately it's a death note. That's what it is. It's a death note. It's a dinner bell for all the woke people to virtue signal on Twitter, even though they're never gonna watch the show. That's essentially what all this is for. So this is starting it, and they're gonna come up with more articles and more interviews that are going to go deeper into it. They're going to start talking about the seeing themselves kind of a thing, and it's just going to spiral from there, and people are not going to be interested. And ultimately, you're going to see that this version of the X-Files is not going to do nowhere near as good as the original. But isn't that always the case, though? So it says, "I've done it. I did it for so many years, and it also ended on such an unfortunate note," she added, referencing the season 11 finale revealed that Scully was mysteriously pregnant with her and Mulder's child. In order to even begin to have that conversation about another season, there would need to be a whole new set of writers, and the baton would need to be handed on for it to feel like it was new and progressive, she ultimately declared. So yeah, it's very much in the past. So yeah, what she's trying to say is now apparently all the white people need to pass the baton to black people. Reasons, like they don't really necessarily have any other reason other than it just has to be progressive just because, like, again, I don't know what that has to do with the X-Files or the overarching story of the X-Files. It means absolutely nothing. I don't know how you're going to get people excited about the X-Files because you're starting to talk about a diverse cast. I'm pretty sure that's the best way to make someone really flaccid at the end of the day and get them ultimately not interested in this reboot or whatever this is supposed to be. I think it's going to be a full-on reboot because if they're going to start talking about a diverse cast, unless they're going to pull a cast out of their ass, they can't necessarily race swap a character that is currently considered active. So they have to reboot that character and reboot the entire show. And then they could bring on all the black people that they want. Because let's be real, when they talk about progressive, they don't talk about anything else other than black people and LGBTQ. LGBTQ is considered diversity now in terms of overall casting, not just black people. So they go for black people, they go for LGBTQ. They maybe might throw in a Hispanic here and there, but they know Hispanic people don't care about that too much. So they don't bother pandering to us because we don't give them the time of day. We don't eat their sloppy seconds. We don't just like, oh yes, thank you, white savior, for giving us this show that nobody asked for because you think we're not good enough for our own original characters, and you're giving us a sloppy seconds of white people and you're expecting us to just be so thankful for it. Thank you so much. They know we're not like that, whereas LGBTQ and majority the woke side of black people, they're all for it. They eat that shit up. Now obviously not everybody's like that. Not every LGBTQ person's like that. Not every black person's like that. So before you go crazy and say, oh my god, Hypnotic, why are you saying that? I'm not. I'm just saying that those particular communities are all for pandering. They love it. At least that's how it seems anyway. They love to get pandered to. Twitter is all for that shit. Slay queens are everywhere 24/7. So again, it's just one of those things. Whereas if you look at the Hispanic community, you will see that a lot of this pandering nonsense is usually laughed at and is not accepted. That's why they don't pander to us. The white people decide that we're not good enough to be pandered to because again, we don't give them the time of day and we don't give them the satisfaction of feeling like they're our white savior. So again, ultimately, I probably would have gave an X-Files reboot a chance because like I said, now that I'm older, I would have liked to kind of rewatch it and get an idea of maybe if I would have liked it or not. Or maybe I would have watched the original. Who knows after watching the new one. But now that they're talking like this, any indication or any chance that I had at watching this has completely gone out the window. And it's going into the bucket of I just don't care. Like I'm sure you guys all have that bucket of shows that that you just don't care. Like you automatically just dismiss once they start talking like this. And for me, the X-Files reboot is definitely that one. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.